Good morning, everybody. Semi-retired Bob here. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I want to say I am glad you're here. Today is the first day of October. It's a beautiful day. Today we're going to talk about some questions that people left me. And then because I'd said I was going to try and cut the length of the videos down for this month. We'll see what happens. We'll see how long it takes me to get through the questions. If I'm starting to run out of questions before I run out of walk, I may time lapse the last little bit of it. But today's the first day without coffee. And let me tell you, it's been tough getting up and getting going. I know I'm not walking quite as fast as I usually do. I'm sure it's all psychological. But there may be some physiological parts of it too, but everything sort of hurts without coffee this morning. Not really bad, but a little stiff and sore because I didn't get up and have my coffee first thing. And that brings me to the first question. And fair warning, I'm going to butcher these names. Yeah, I just am. I'm terrible at names. But, and of course my writing's terrible too. I think it's Frank Leshuk. Sorry about butchering names, but he asked about herbal supplements for pain. I don't really know anything about herbal supplements, especially for pain, because I've been on really good painkillers for a really long time. But if the herbal supplement you're using is helping you, then I would say keep using it. Just understand what the ingredients are in it. I mean, first of all, herbal, the first word herb, implies a plant. And you have to, really investigate each plant that's in there and then decide for yourself if what the plants are doing for you versus what the plants are doing to you is worth taking them. But like I said, I don't know anything about herbal supplements and that kind of stuff. But you definitely want to be an ingredient investigator. I may have to switch this route up a little bit again, because starting off with this big long hill always seemed like a good idea. But it's kind of hard to talk the first few minutes of the video, starting off that big long hill. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. And he also asked about, I put in my notes weight loss, so I'm thinking, if I remember right, he asked about weight loss stalls. And you just got to hang in there and keep going. Don't let it get you discouraged. Because as I've always said, I mean, what are you going to do? Quit keto and go back to eating pizza and donuts? We know too much for that now. And the one thing, if your weight loss is slowed down, but you're taking an herbal supplement, perhaps you, again, look at the ingredients in there, see maybe if there's some sugar in that. There probably isn't if they're calling it an herbal supplement, but you never know. And then fully investigate. There's a channel on Dr. Barry, There's a video on Dr. Barry's channel that talks about the 13 reasons why your weight might stall. And investigate all of those thoroughly. And if none of those apply, then just realize that sometimes after losing some weight, our bodies just need to take a pause and say, whoa, wait a minute. Let me readjust to this new weight here before we do any more. So that happens. I hope that answers your questions, Frank. If not, leave me another question and I'll try to do better next time. T.L. Scott. He had quite a few little questions in his post. He asked about me sharing my blood work from before and after. I did that already. If you look back in the middle of the September challenge, there's one that has lab results in the title, and that goes over most of it. He also asked about heart problems. My advice to anybody with heart problems, because I've had heart surgery: keep going, you can do it, but understand what your body's signals are if you do too much too quick. And I don't know how accessible your cardiologist is. Mine's pretty good. He's always, and I don't know if it's actually him or one of his nurses, but I can email his office and I'll usually get information back within a couple of hours, provided I send the email during business times. And just make sure you keep working with your cardiologist to let him know what you're doing. My cardiologist, unlike my primary care physician, my cardiologist is on board with a low-carb keto lifestyle, even though I'm doing carnivore. And this month, since it's October the 1st, I'm doing strict carnivore, or I should say strict lion diet. I'm only having beef, salt, and water, which is why I didn't get my coffee this morning, and I'm walking a little slower. I knew I'd be walking a little slower today, just by the way I felt when I got up, which was a little stiff and sore, and a lot of that I think was psychological, because I knew I wasn't going to have my coffee. But so yeah, just stay in touch with your cardiologist. Make sure he knows what you're doing. He asked if I'd done a lot of research before choosing carnivore. Well, that depends on your perspective on what you consider a lot of research. I started off watching, there was a guy named Ferrigno's Freedom who talked about the lion diet, which led me to Dr. Barry, which led me to Dr. Westman and Dr. Baker and Dr. Shear and Ben Bickman and I first started the journey of learning about carnivore back in, it was early March. And I don't know, I watched probably 1,000 hours of videos on the subject on YouTube, and all of the research papers that Dr. Berry puts down in the notes. I certainly haven't read them all because quite a few of those are way above my reading comprehension level. But I did a lot of follow-up research through those, because you can't really do research by Googling, carnivore diet or keto on the interwebs, because Big Pharma and Big Food don't really care for that too much. They don't want you to know the truth of how you should be eating, because they want to sell you the highly processed foods. So to answer your question, yes, I feel I did a ton of research, because I studied from March until May the 9th when I started. So I feel I've got a fairly good handle on the science of why this works. And he asked if my friends are behind me on this. Dude, I got no friends. That's not exactly true. I have a lot of good friends, but most of them, I hardly ever see them. We talk on the internet, send messages back and forth all the time, but I'm retired. They're still working. So, when I'm out here walking the streets, they're either still in bed because it's Saturday morning, or during the week they're at work. But I feel like I'm making a lot of new friends on this channel. And I'd have to say you're all behind me, or you wouldn't be subscribed to the channel. Speaking of which, if you're still here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. In case you didn't notice, I passed the place I turned yesterday, and I'm going on down to this next street. I figured if I was gonna walk a little slower, I should at least make up for it by walking a little further. So we'll see what happens. Okay, and that was T.L. Scott. K-Girl's mom. The gist of her question is, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to put yourself out there? Because there's so much hate online and so much negativity online for people that are doing what we're doing. Because unlike other, certain sects of certain diets get very militant about their diet, most of the carnivores I know just say, well, you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. It's cool. But why I put myself out here, just read the comments on my videos. I originally started posting hoping that maybe I could convince one person to change the way they eat. If what I'm doing changes one person's lives and they don't have to go through the 40-year span that I went through, that's why I do it. That's why I put up with it. Although I mostly just ignore it. If you come into my comments talking about paleo diet or fruits or veggies or cake and cookies and calories in, calories out, and all that other stuff, expect your comment to disappear. It's still there, just nobody can see it. So you can come back a second time and shout into the void to your heart's content. Because once you're hidden from the channel, your comments never show up again. Oh, and by the way, if you think you've been unfairly sent into the void in my comments section, my email is in the About tab. You're welcome to send me an email and explain yourself and explain why you think you should be allowed to comment on my videos. But if you're coming with calories in, calories out, or any of the other crap, you better have a really good research study to back you up. So I hope that answers your question, K-Girl's mom. Sin Spain. He's one of my regulars. He comments on almost every video. It might even be a she, I have no idea. But his question was, how do you feel? Really, how do you feel? I'm not gonna be the upbeat, positive, cheering person that says, yeah, I feel great. Because I don't feel great. I still have a lot of aches and pains in all of my joints. But if you compare that to where I was just under 5 months ago, I feel 1,000 times better. Look at me, I could barely stand up when I first started this. Now, I'm out here walking every day. So I hope that answers your questions. Another one of my regulars, Peter Cyr, C-Y-R, sorry if I'm butchering these names. He asked me if I've ever watched Butter Bob. And I'll have to be honest, I have not. I heard some people talking about him the other day. I went to his channel and marked it. I am planning on going back when I get time and watching some of his videos. But apparently a lot of people liked him, which is great. I had heard, I got to switch hands here for a minute. Sorry about that. Oh, I had heard that all the negativity and bad comments got to him, and that's why he quit making videos. But I don't know that as a fact. That's just what I heard. But I am going to watch some of Butter Bob's old stuff when I get a chance. I just haven't gotten a chance to yet. I'm still rewatching all of the Proper Human Diet Summit speeches. Kim Howerton's was really good. If you haven't watched it yet, you can go to Keto Chow's YouTube homepage. And they have the links to it there. Mark McGregor asked if I was going to have an October challenge. Yes, here I am. I'm doing straight up lion diet this month, which means just beef, salt, and water. No Spam, no sausages, no coffee. You're welcome to follow along if you want to. If that seems a little bit too extreme for you, that's okay. And the other challenge that's going on, it's going to keep on going on every day, is the 1% Better challenge. I didn't realize there wasn't going to be a sidewalk there that ran down to the crossing. And that curve was kind of big. Okay. Buckles McGee asked, how do I like my hamburger cooked? Because he said he likes basically hamburger patties with butter on them, which I do like. He uses 80-20. Most of the ground beef I use is the cheapest I can find, and for the last couple of months I found that Walmart sells a 70, I think it's 73.27, and I like hamburger patties, and when I have just the hamburger patties, I do add a little butter to the top of each one. But one of my favorite meals is just brown the ground beef like you're going to use it in something else. After you're done, after it's all brown, leave it in the bowl, in the skillet, or dump it onto your plate, into your bowl, fat included, and just let it sit for about 5 minutes before you eat it. Because if you let it sit for 5 minutes, that the ground beef will soak a lot of that grease back up. Good morning. So that's what I really like to do while I'm cooking it. Now, starting today, it's just going to be salt, but I really like it spicy. So I've been using salt and pepper and crushed red pepper flakes. And of course, that's a really good time to take a little electrolyte drops and add it to it. Since you're going to salt your meat anyway, you really shouldn't taste any difference, and it gives you a chance to get your electrolytes in. You can even put a couple of drops of Ludol's 2% in it to up your iodine. I don't do that very often because I don't think I'm iodine deficient. But if you have any of the symptoms, you should do that. I'm trying to think if there were any other questions out there that I've gotten throughout the time. I can't think of any. So I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to cue the music and let you watch me fast video all the way home from here. Thank you. We're almost back to the house here. I have to say, everything that hurt before I left doesn't really hurt anymore. Now, I don't know if that means I've gotten them limbered up and they've actually stopped hurting, or my whole body's just gone numb from lack of coffee. It's hard to say. But anyway, thanks for watching today. Remember to get out there and be 1% better today than you were yesterday. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're still here. Good grief. You made it all the way to the end, you might as well subscribe. There's a video over here. There you can watch the entire September walking challenge. Or over here there'll be a video that you haven't seen before. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.